What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Wingin It podcast. Jack, how you doing, man?
I'm good, my man. How about yourself?
I am making it. We'll wait for Andre to get back, but uh, first of all, let me apologize for last week. I planned on doing the podcast, but some stuff happened like right at the last minute, so that's why I canceled. So I do apologize for that. We're still doing movie night, but we are going to add some stuff to it. So we're probably not going to do a full Mario Galaxy movie review. We'll probably just do our thoughts on it and just call it a day. So that way, if you haven't watched it, you can't get mad at us.
Right.
Deal. Everybody, we cool. All right. So first things first, the Legend of Zelda movie. It recently wrapped in New Zealand, so we're probably getting that first trailer December. If I had to guess, that first trailer was going to be in December.
Yep.
And we had some interesting thoughts. The director of Majora's Mask basically saying Link shouldn't talk. Okay, so if you played the games, you know Link can speak. Now, the reason why he doesn't is because basically Link is supposed to be the cipher for the actual player. So he's supposed to be, you're supposed to be Link, Link's supposed to be you. That's why they called him Link. He's a link to the player. Right. But if you've read the manga, if you've seen other stuff, they did have a cartoon back in the 80s. He can speak. He can talk. If you even play the games, he responds to people. Now, Breath of the Wild did say he didn't talk much, but they gave you a reason why he didn't talk much, and that was because people treated him like a robot, so he just said, hell with it, I'll be a robot.
Right.
And I'll just fix all your problems because you got to remember, Zelda hated his ass from the way they made it seem like the first couple of years she was around him. She hated him. She hated his guts. So the only person he really could talk to was Mifa and Darut. Because Rivali, I want to talk to Rivali, fake ass Falco party. I hated freaking fake Falco, but he just didn't talk. So he just didn't talk a lot. He just remained stoic. Yeah. So my thing is, I'm like, please stop. People stop saying he can't talk. He can talk. All right. Yeah. He can talk because it's gonna be. I remember it was a movie a while ago. They came out. It was in black and white. People got mad because they didn't know it was in black and white. So you go to the theater and you watch this other movie and Link don't talk. You think people gonna be happy about that? You think you're gonna make money off that? People gonna be pissed because they're gonna be like, "Why ain't he talking?" Because you got to remember, everybody don't play video games.
Correct.
And even more people, even the gamers, everybody don't play Zelda.
Right.
So they don't know. They have no idea. They're going to be expecting him to talk. If they walk in there and he ain't talking.
I think people also have to understand that everything has to have its own adaptation, right? So even if you look at going from manga to the animation, there are some differences, and there's differences there for a reason. Same thing when it comes down to movies. Even if you look at the Sonic movies, right? Knuckles in the game isn't silly like that or not stupid like that in the games.
He's actually smart.
He's smart. So but you have to have somebody have to have those dynamics within the movie. So you have Sonic, which is kind of like your all-around cat. You have Tails, which is the mechanic, the friend, or whatever. And then when you introduce Knuckles, you have to give him some type of, personality. Yeah. And really the main personality that seems to connect with the American senses is like big, buff, dumb guy. Yeah, so the jock, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's what he is. Now, I don't know what they plan to do with Shadow, if they even mention him at all in the fourth. But ultimately, Amy may be the one that's just like the super crush. While she can fight for Sonic, she's just going to be all over him, depending on how they portray that. Yeah. But when it comes down to the Zelda movie, you're right. Like in the games, he does speak. It's just we don't hear it. So when you go into these movies, unless you're gonna play it like what's that freaking movie where they have to stay quiet the entire time, otherwise they get killed?
Quiet Place.
Quiet Place. Yeah. Unless you're doing that, which I highly doubt you will, then I'm not entertaining that. So you give them a voice, you give them something to speak on, and understand that this is not going to be a one-to-one adaptation of the video games.
Yeah.
That's another thing that's going to come up. It's going to be like, oh, which game is this based off of?
It's not. Probably will be based off none of them.
Right.
If they're smart, it's not going to be based off any of them because
I wouldn't either.
No. Yeah, you don't even want to go through that. The other thing too is I'm like, my biggest concern is I like the fact that they filmed it in New Zealand, but everybody knows my issues with them doing this live action off the rip because what they gonna do? They ain't no Lord of the Rings.
Yep. Yep. Those connections come immediately.
Yeah, and I'm like, bruh, okay, because once again, as much as I love Zelda, because Zelda's my favorite game franchise, period. Like I know the lore, I'm all for it. I also know it ain't that popular. Like it just got popular with Breath of the Wild. To be fair, to be completely fair and honest, sales wise, it didn't get popular till Breath of the Wild.
Right.
It just didn't. So
like I would say the name was popular. The games just didn't sell.
The games weren't. Like it didn't sell like that. They just didn't. So it's gonna be. And once again, the movie crowd is way different from the game crowd because, like, you got some people who thought the Mario Galaxy movie should have had deep catharsis and a understanding of the human condition. And I'm like, have y'all played a Mario game? Did y'all not watch the first movie?
No.
That's like asking Looney Tunes. It's like having a Bugs Bunny film and being like, I don't understand why they didn't go to the soul of what it means to be a rabbit. Like, what the hell are y'all?
Rabbits don't eat carrots for real. Okay. But Bugs does.
That's like going into the Wile E. Coyote movie and trying to understand why Coyote is still trying to go after a roadrunner. And why is he suing? And why is he suing a whole corporation? And I don't understand. This is supposed to be a courtroom drama.
Hey, I'm gonna keep it a bean with you. He need to sue him.
He needs to sue him.
Inventions keep failing him.
He needs to sue him, but he kind of can't say that because he keeps going back for him. He keeps going back to buy for him, so it's kind of his fault. But the thing is, like, I didn't understand, like, and we're gonna get into this a little bit later, but I didn't understand like what people was actually thinking when they went to go see the Mario Galaxy movie. Like, what the hell are you talking about? It's too fast paced. Bro, this is a kids movie. Have y'all been around kids lately?
I hope not.
If you don't keep them, they gonna wild out. Yeah. Like if you don't keep the references going, like I'm like, it did exactly what it needed to do. Like it got people in, got people out. It was an hour and 35 minutes. If you couldn't keep up, that's you. Like
either way, the Super Mario Galaxy games are fast paced if you actually play them right. So
they really are. Yeah.
Like I said, I don't understand what people be going into. That's why, like, my main worry with this Zelda movie is one, I've said this from the beginning, I don't think any of Nintendo's properties should be live action out the gate. I said that. I said that, and I still mean that. That's my first issue. My second issue is people going to be comparing it to Lord of the Rings because there's supposed to be another Lord of the Rings movie coming next August or December, that Gollum movie. And I'm like, bro,
I forgot about that.
Cannot be happening. So I'm like, bro, this ain't. So that's my concerns right there because I know it ain't gonna be there. And my third concern is, I hope they had a Gerudo in there.
But which version of the Gerudo?
You know which version. The version everybody. You know which version. You know which version.
Our most recent offerings.
Only if I could just get the side quest of the dating side quest. That's just hilarious to me. I'm sorry. It's hilarious.
Oh, you mean like a scene of them walking?
Yeah, that would just be hilarious to me. I'm sorry, dude. Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild, my favorite side quest is going to Gerudo Town and doing that doggone thing. That is hilarious. Like these women will beat the brakes off you, kill anything, ain't about the games whatsoever. Cannot talk to a dude.
Hey, look, I think Ocarina of Time told us exactly what we needed to know about their struggles for the longest time.
Yeah. Like,
it told us a lot as to how they did things.
Yeah, this is too funny. It is like the one where you meet the trio that's journeying and they like, oh, yeah, I want to meet this hero. They keep talking about it. Lincoln's right there. And they're like, yeah, you're too short. Oh, whoa.
Even though he was the one.
Yeah, he was one. They're like, yeah, you're too short to be a hero. I'm like,
right.
Hey,
y'all just straight up wrong.
Y'all just straight. Well, hell, all of them supposed to be like over 6 feet tall. So, like, the shortest one is like 6'5". So, bro, and Buliara was like 7'7", and I'm like, okay, there ain't no way you. Okay, yeah, you are. So, yeah, Jay Biggs, you are absolutely correct. Lash Legend, Jay Carter, yes.
Saw from the
oh yeah, Lash.
Like, hey, you come here. Then look at. I did not know you were this tall.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, if only just for that, because I just think that's funny. That's a quick little easy comedic thing you can throw in a movie.
Yeah.
My problem is if they did it, even if they did it accurately, people are gonna get offended for no reason.
Well, they get offended if the wind blows, so I ain't even worried about people like that. There was a lady who got mad at me because I stated that Breath of the Wild Zelda was not a fighter.
But she is. She wasn't.
She wasn't. Like, she told me I hated women because I'm like,
she was play the game?
Went that route.
She's a scholar.
She was a bookworm who was a living nuke.
Yeah. That didn't know how to use it. That's why I'm like. That's why I love Age of Imprisonment, because they actually show her getting trained. Now you can't complain no more, because guess what? They showed it. Now you can see why she had so many issues in Breath of the Wild, because she wasn't trained.
Right.
Which kind of begs the question: if she was trained, if we could just throw Tears of the Kingdom Zelda backwards to where Breath of the Wild Zelda was, what exactly would have happened?
Link wouldn't have died. I know that much.
No, she'd have kept him alive.
Yeah, Link wouldn't have died. They would have had to. They probably would have been fighting back to back, because, like, remember, he unleashed everything. So all them Guardian Stalkers wasn't going nowhere. So they would have. They were gonna have to fight, but he wouldn't have died. Link wouldn't have died. And I don't understand why they keep saying he didn't die. He just
literally
he collapsed. I'm like, he went to a place called the Shrine of Resurrection, not the Shrine of Long Sleep. So
it would have been the Shrine of Awakening.
Yeah, this is the Shrine of Resurrection. He dead.
He died.
Yeah, he died. So that's that. But yeah, that's my only issue about that. I'm going to be cautiously optimistic when it comes to Zelda, and I'll leave it at that. I'm cautiously optimistic. So Street Fighter trailer. I'm going to echo what a lot of people have been saying. It looks awful. And in a good way.
I'm confused.
In a good way. It reminds me of those cheesy 80s action movies. Yeah. That's what I'm like, you know what?
That's what it should be.
That's what it should be.
Yeah.
Like, do not try to take this serious.
While I do think the casting is still horrible, if they can go this route with it, I might be more accepting. I'm still messed up of Akuma being nearly the same age as Ryu, when Akuma should be much older and more masterful, but I don't know how they're going to play it.
And not Samoan.
Listen.
And not Roman Reigns.
His skin complexion, we can be flexible about his skin complexion.
The day ones, the bloodline.
But if I was going to use somebody who's Samoan, I wouldn't have used Roman Reigns.
Nah,
you're right.
He's just his face.
Yeah,
it's plastered all over WWE.
It's too recognizable. That's the price. It's way too recognizable.
Whereas Cody Rhodes, if you don't think about it, you would not understand. If you don't think about it, you don't know who Cody Rhodes is. You probably would not realize that. Even if you did know it was him, you probably wouldn't realize that he was Guile until someone said it.
Everybody can realize that terrible wig, though, man. That's one of them Tyler Perry wigs. That's one of them Tyler Perry wigs.
They should have done.
That is a Tyler Perry wig.
That is definitely a Tyler Perry wig where it sits on top of your head. They should have gave.
Why do you think it's going backwards instead of up? It's going backwards because it don't fit.
As bad as it sounds, they should have done something with extensions to make his hair look like it naturally fit together, instead of it looking like he's got his hair here, and then this is up here off the top of his head.
And the thing is, like, it's going backwards. It's not going It's going backwards. So I'm like, yeah, this is a Tyler Perry wig.
His head's technically it's supposed to be a big circle on top of his head.
So a brush flat top.
They're flat, which is why everybody calls him brush head.
Yeah. So like I said, it looks awful, but it's awful in a good way. Not awful as in I'm not going to see this like Mortal Kombat 2. Mortal Kombat 2, I'm not going to see that. Street Fighter, I'm going to see.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat will not receive my money to go see. I will wait and hope that it comes to HBO Max.
Oh, it's coming to HBO Max, but I'm just not going to, I'm not paying them to go see it. I saw that first one. I was mad as hell. So I'm see the second one. No.
Because even with that recent trailer, I'm like,
it ain't helping.
Nah, it ain't helping.
It ain't helping me none. I'm like
Street Fighter. I was like, oh yeah, I want to go see it.
Yeah, Street Fighter look like it's gonna be fun.
I'm still messed up on Andrew Schultz being Dan Hibiki though.
I
can't let that one go.
Yeah,
because they took the joke character and threw comedian in it, and that's not how that works.
Yeah, right.
If you want a joke character, you think something like how Jackie Chan did active comedy in his fights, where he was actually fighting, but you could see the comedic inferences in what he was doing. They needed somebody that could do that, not a comedian who's not really funny.
Yeah, because number one, he's not funny. Number two, like he's more annoying than anything else.
Yeah, and on top of that, he's not. I'll give Roman Reigns a pass because skin complexion, Akuma is dark skinned anyway,
and he can fight. But
Andrew Schultz is not anywhere near Chinese.
No.
I was like, did y'all not read any of these character bios when y'all did this, or did you just see joke character, comedian? It's okay. No, that's not how it works.
Who's going to bring you in box office because he has a huge
following. Yeah, and that podcast.
And his following. He's probably
not going to go watch that movie though.
It's not going to watch this movie. And even if they do, the more likely they will cause more harm to the movie than they will.
Good. For sure.
Yeah. But I will say this: the guy that got to play Zangief.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey.
And I was proud of him for that.
I
was proud of them for that trailer because Ken's Dragon Punch wasn't anchored to the ground. It was actually in the air.
It was actually in the air, like it's supposed to be. I like the reference to the '94 movie where they had Ken and Ryu in them stupid outfits. I kind of like the reference, but I just don't know how to feel. But like I said, it looks like a fun movie. Like you would go. It's probably gonna be an hour and 30, hour 40 minutes. You can go and have fun. Just turn your brain off and just have a good time.
That's the only way you're going to enjoy it.
Yeah. Now the movie critic is going to be like, they don't understand why this doesn't act to the core of human trafficking.
Wow.
That's what some people are going to say. I already know that.
It's deep.
Yeah, I'm like, it's not that deep, bro.
I do also have, because I saw somebody else bring it up. I also do have a problem with Cammy's outfit because she should be in her Red Alert or whatever they call it.
Yeah, the Red Alert.
That's Red Cyclone Zangief. Red Alert, that's the group that she was with.
Yeah.
She should be in that outfit, which doesn't make any sense. Where is she not in that?
Yeah. And the only reason why I say human trafficking, because if you watch the original cartoon, that's what they were doing. That's what Shadaloo was doing. They were kidnapping and trafficking the fighters. So that's why, they went to the tournament, but they didn't leave the tournament, if you catch my drift. Right. So that's why I brought that up, because somebody's probably going to bring that up when they do their review, and I'm just cutting their head off right there.
You could still make that argument for the games, too, because you think about it, traffic the fighters into one place, Bison snatches them up, corrupts them, does whatever he wants. So it makes sense.
It makes sense.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that's all. I said, I'm not. My expectations, number one, my expectation for Street Fighter is not high.
No, not high. I would hope not.
It is not high. It's somewhere right above the floor. So I can go in and have a good time with this. Yeah, I can go and have a good time with this because I'm not expecting anything. I'm not expecting no Academy Award winning nothing. I'm expecting a fun action movie.
Mm-hmm.
My expectations for this movie 6 feet under the ground. So
yeah, like I said, and if I go in, if I'm entertained, hey, cool, I'm entertained.
Yeah,
it is what it is. But yeah, all right. So Super Mario Galaxy movie. We meant to talk about this last week. So if you have not watched it, we'll try to keep spoilers to a minimum. But yeah, I had 2.5 weeks.
Yeah. You ain't watching by now. You ain't trying to watch it now for real. Unless you're just really that busy.
Yeah, I don't know what else to tell you. But
to be fair, I had a job change.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah, there you go. But I will say this: the majority of the reviews that I've read and I've seen from people, I don't know what movie they watched.
I don't know what movie they expected.
That too. I don't know what movie they watched and what movie they expected, because the easiest way I can say this is if you watched the first one and you liked it, I don't see why you wouldn't like the second one. Because it's basically follows the same type formula.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I don't know, like, I don't expect this movie to be no Oscar winner. I don't expect Schindler's List when I went to go watch this.
Why
not? I'm not expecting The Fugitive or damn Shawshank Redemption. I'm expecting Looney Tunes. That's what I'm expecting, and that's what I got. I'm expecting the jokes to be funny.
Yeah.
I'm expecting the pace to be quick, because I'm not trying to watch a 2.5 hour Mario movie. I don't know about y'all.
I mean, it's not worth that long of a movie, because honestly, this one felt longer to me than the first one.
Yeah, even though it's around the same time.
Which is crazy, because I was like, we went to the theater. Now, the first one, I thought it was just like here and gone. I'm like, wait a minute.
It felt like
the movie's over. Like, it's over already. But then this one, it felt a little bit longer. And now, like I said, my only gripe with this movie in general was when we first started watching it, it seemed like there was like little to no dialogue whatsoever. Like the way that they were moving through, they would say like a line or two, and then it go heavy with the music. And I'm like, shouldn't y'all be talking a little bit more?
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, I mean, it was what I was expecting. You know, the next time I see it would definitely be when I purchase it. I'm not one that's gonna keep going back and watching it movies over and over again like some people do.
I mean, they already made $1 billion. They don't need no more.
Yeah, I'm about to say movies cost damn much. Like, I'd rather buy the Blu-ray and call it a day. Like, I don't have time for that. So yeah, that'll be the next time I watch it, because I really want to be able to see or identify the Easter eggs, because that's why I haven't watched these. These are the Easter eggs you missed. I want to catch them myself. I'm good.
Yeah. I caught a couple of them live. But I do want to go back and watch it where I can actually, when I want to stop it, I can stop it and be like, okay, I missed that.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say this: the Loomis and Fox, the Loomis was just funny.
Yeah,
they were just funny. But Fox McCloud, bruh, Glenn Powell, if you really did pitch that to Nintendo, kudos to you and your team.
Yeah,
y'all did a good job.
And that's what he said. He was like, they were the ones that came to them and was like, hey, I can do Star Fox. I can do Fox. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he was like, sure, let's find a way to throw him in a movie, to where I think they were saying, who was it? Miyamoto was like, hey, I don't know if they would want to do this. And then when he took it back to the scene, it was like, hey, let's see if we can make it work. Like, okay, cool.
And they found a way to make it work. It made sense.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
It does.
It made sense. Because basically, look, the Star Fox games are basically supposed to be Nintendo's Top Gun.
Yeah.
So, I mean, even the R-Wing looks like an F-14.
Yeah.
It does. So, I'm like, I thought they did a good job with Fox. I'm interested to see if they do go and try to pull off either a series or a movie, because they were supposed to do a series on Netflix, but dude
messed it up.
Dude leaked it.
Yep, screwed it up on everybody.
Yeah, because that one and Legend of Zelda's what they got.
If they do it, I want them to go back and do the art style like they did for that video they did before Star Fox Zero launched. I want them to go back to that. Do that for a full series.
Yeah, I mean, because that was episode 1. We need episode 2.
We need episode 2 through 12.
Yeah, that's basically what we need. Because, like, I don't understand how y'all dropped that and knowing everybody was like, okay, well, where's the next one?
Yeah.
Where's the next one?
Now,
where's the next one?
Now I'm curious to see if this gets the Donkey Kong treatment. Right, to where we got the reveal that Donkey Kong was going to be in the first game, and then shortly after that, we finally get the damn 3D Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
Now, of course, rumors have stated that yes, we are getting a Star Fox possibly this summer. Me personally,
I thought that would be too fast.
Unless they've already been working on it.
Unless they've been working on it.
Yeah.
Because
if they've been
Nintendo
working
will do that. Yeah, Nintendo be working on a game 5-6 years, don't tell nobody nothing, and then they release it in August.
Yeah, they're just sitting up
then
on
they
the
tell
shelf
us about some games too early.
Yeah.
It's just collecting dust, and it's like, oh yeah, it's about time for us to announce. We forgot we had them sitting around. Like, okay. But yeah, I mean, I hope it does. Like, I'm never gonna fix myself to say, oh, I'm this big Star Fox fan. I'm not. But it's definitely one of those games to where I think it has a lot of potential, and they just have to do it right. So if the rumors are to be true, I don't think I'm going to like this one, solely because it's just rehashing the same thing of, hey, it's on rails and it's like a remake of the original. I'm like, can we do something different?
Yeah, they don't need to touch that again. They don't need to touch another remake again.
I think the main problem with Star Fox is that they got stuck on this one format for it, but it's possible to do so much more with it.
Yes,
because you could have your on rails game that's like what Star Fox was, which is basically an arcade space shooter. But then you could also have like a top down one or like a side scrolling one like R-Type or Life Force. You could do that too, where you make it more individual depending on the character you're using. Heck, even do that for Fox's dad, because we have no gameplay, no game story with him in it. So you can do a whole separate
F-Zero, sir. F-Zero, sir.
That is not his father. that is a human that took on his father's name.
That was so weird.
That was funny as hell though.
Yeah,
you got the same ship too.
But, yeah, I got to say,
they could do that. Then you could have one that's more like Star Fox Adventures and have Crystal in it because she hasn't been used much.
She really hasn't.
And we know Falco takes on missions by himself. Why is there not a game dedicated to him having his own separate missions? Because he goes off from the team on a regular basis.
Yeah.
So
and those games don't have to be long. Like,
no, they don't. But the thing is, they've got so many interconnected pieces for Star Fox that they don't do anything with. Like even Star Fox Guard, that's fresh compared to everything else. Where you had Slippy and his father?
Yeah,
basically playing security. Like, just do something else with each character can have basically their own format. If you really wanted to break it down, they could all have their own format. And that's something I think would be worth it to do. But that's on Nintendo to figure it out.
Yep. I mean, it's right there. I mean, honestly, the writing's on the wall. Even if people didn't like Starlink, hell, that's half the homework right there.
Yeah.
Like, just go and copy half the homework. And y'all can go from there with it.
And just keep the only thing I didn't like about Starlink was it was way too repetitive. Like,
the
missions was all the same. I'm like, bro, y'all just padding this out. This ain't. It got boring after a while.
Oh yeah, I'm saying like the bones are there. Do not copy the homework to a T, because you copying Starlink, that means you also copying their name on the test too. So like, no, it's not.
Nah, how about we just copy the start of it?
There you go.
You know, the first 25%, and then and go from there and fix everything else.
J Biggs, just put the number in the chat and they'll pop up on the poll. Yeah.
So there's that. So like I said, overall I enjoyed that last fight scene as well in Mario Galaxy movie. I loved how they used the power-ups when it was like 2v3. Well, it's not really 2v3, it's 2v2 because Yoshi being Yoshi. But yeah.
Right.
But I'm like,
that's when you can explain it.
That's the best. Yeah. But they did a good job with the camera work, with how they was utilizing the power-ups and how they was doing the actual power. I enjoyed that fight sequence. Plus the Mario Maker level in there where they basically they're like, okay, dude, that's they're gonna bring people nightmares.
Oh yeah.
Somebody's gonna try to recreate it. I'm assuming somebody's gonna try to recreate it.
I'm pretty sure they took it from somebody's, dude.
Probably. I'm waiting for somebody to say, I'm suing Nintendo.
Yeah.
Stole my idea.
Basically.
Nah, if you using that game, it ain't your idea.
It ain't your idea.
Look, we got people making Rainbow Road and Pokopia. Like, don't.
Which, well, every time it's crazy. I've never seen a game to where I watch people play it that makes me not want to play it.
Yeah.
It's like you built what? All right, man. I'm not picking
Why?
I'm not going to be able to compete. Like,
no, what? Why am I even playing the game now?
Yeah.
Why? I see what the potential is, and I'm way below the line. So yeah, you got to be, dog. You got this game was for you. It obviously was not for me as a peasant. I'm cool.
Yeah. So that's one of those situations. That's kind of funny too, because Pokopia, man, y'all know how I feel about that damn Pokemon. That Ditto is scary, dude. Ditto is a horror movie for me. So I'm like,
I was on the same page as you, and then I got over it when I started playing it. But
the problem is, like, they made it like a post-apocalyptic. I don't know why Nintendo is dead set on making post-apocalyptic fun.
Hey, they know how this world is looking.
You got Splatoon, you got Pokopia.
Like, I want to be in the post-apocalyptic world more than this.
There's a few other ones. I mean, and hell, actually, Legend of Zelda at this point.
Yeah, that's post-apocalyptic. I'm like, man, I'd rather be in the post-apocalyptic world than. Hey, look, Splatoon just sounds fun, man. It just sounds like a fun world to visit, dude. I'm sorry.
Until you get down the street, somebody shoot you with some ink. Like, hey,
shoot you in the back. Hey, man, I just bought this.
I would, as bad as it is, I would love the Inklings versus Mario game where he's got the flood trying to stop them from painting everything up.
See, that's a good multiplayer situation.
Or you even better, Inklings versus Mario Brothers, where you have the whole crew from Mario with their own versions of the flood trying to stop the Inklings from covering territory.
But see, that's got to be the team name, the Floods. There's got to be the Floods versus the
Inklings versus Floods.
Yeah, for sure.
With DLC Bayonetta being DLC. So.
No, we said ink, not blood. All right, sir.
But Nintendo would likely green like that too. That's the worst part.
Because they can make it fun. You can make it fun.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you can go to Platinum and use the Wonderful 101 version of Bayonetta.
Yeah, because I mean, somebody did do the fan art for Bayonetta showing up in Splatoon. She had the Splatoon shirt on and the shorts, and she had her hair, but they already did the artwork for us. I'm like, might as well at this point. I mean, DLC. That's like having DLC with Lil Mac in arms. I never understood why they didn't do that.
I said that so many times. Like, just make it so that he's very fast to balance out the fact that he doesn't do the stretching thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And hit Capcom to go get Dalsim and Necro from Street Fighter and throw them in there. They got stretching arms.
You got to remember, Capcom is allergic to money, so they break out.
They're transforming right now.
Yeah,
they're allergic to money, but they're not allergic to throwing their characters in other people's games.
That too,
because they want that amiibo. Got to get that amiibo check, baby.
Oh yeah, they'll solicit. They'll solicit them characters. They have no problem with that. But.
They got the Ashley and Leon amiibo about to drop. They about to drop the Pragmata amiibo. I'm like, bro, y'all trying to get amiibo money, ain't you?
They ain't got no problem whoring their characters out there. Nintendo and Sega.
Not at all.
So how much that amiibo money gonna be looking like?
Hey, Leon, we need you to go get fitted for an amiibo. I don't want to do that, Leon. Go do that.
I ain't asked you all that.
You want another game, right? All right,
I did.
Yeah, I do.
And tell Rathalos to come back over here. He's on this fifth amiibo right now. Tell him to stop posing and come back over here. That's pretty much how that is. But yeah, I've always found that funny how Capcom is just like, because if I'm Capcom, I'm like, I'm redoing Beautiful Joe and I'm making 5 amiibo for it.
Yep.
Oh yeah, T-Rex would have to be one.
Oh yeah,
have to be one.
Yeah, bro.
Just so you could tap the amiibo and just have him randomly pop up doing weird things for different levels.
Dude, I still to this day find it hilarious that that's supposed to be the T-Rex from the original Jurassic Park, because he ain't got no. After the movie was over, he ain't getting no more work.
Wow,
that was the lore behind that.
Why y'all got to do that to him? Maybe he was just a stunt double.
The funny thing about that's why, like, in every level he was in it. Like, he had a fake mustache on. I'm like, bro, it's you. One he had karate gi on, like he was like Mr. Miyagi.
He's like, man, I gotta pay my bills.
You, like we know it's you.
Like, Mario, I ain't gonna do nothing crazy. Let me just chase you around a little bit. I'm gonna roar.
But that's why having that character as an amiibo would be funny. Just like do him as like an assist. Tap the amiibo at random times during the level, and he just, depending on what the scene is in the level, he jumps out, does something that matches the scene, and then just jumps off the screen.
Jumps off screen. That was too funny.
But make him say something like, "Man, I hope this paycheck hit."
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I better be getting paid for this.
That was saying, like, Beautiful Joe 1 and 2 need to be on the NSO.
Yeah, I want both of them on there, and I need Capcom to let Kamiya finish the trilogy. Let him finish it.
Just let him finish it. If he's gonna finish it, let him finish it. But yeah, I still don't understand how that went from. Well, there are a lot of games that got canned, so or didn't finish. So, all right, so there is a couple things. I was hoping Shadow showed up by now, but Neo Geo had a trailer come out. They're back in 2026, but as they call it, a comeback because it's basically a retro console.
Yeah.
So that's basically what it is, but it's way cheaper than what it was when it came out originally. Because
I would hope so.
I was expecting to see $1,000. Yeah, I was expecting to see $1,000 for it. I was expecting that, but it's like not.
But don't they have a $1,000 bundle? I think they have a $1,000 variant.
But that's the one with all the whole thing with the games that they're releasing with it, right? Yeah. Because you supposedly, if you got any, you're supposed to be able to put it in and play it much like the analog 3D for N64. Supposedly you're supposed to be able to do all that. Like if you have a Neo Geo game, you're supposed to be able to use your cartridge and it works.
But see, that's my so this is where I'm confused. And like I said, I may not be the audience, and I understand that. So this is where I'm confused with these devices that can use the original cartridges or the original whatever, and there's no more games coming up for it.
Yeah.
So like for me, it's like, okay, Neo Geo was unattainable for majority of the people back then when it dropped for like $600, with each game being anywhere between $100 to $200. And not to mention, if you wanted an extra arcade stick, and then eventually they came out with the controller.
It was ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. So now when you look at the pricing now, because I think what they said, the arcade stick was 100, and then the controller was 60, along with these games being priced whatever they're priced. My thing is, it's like cool nostalgia hit for the type of effort and money you put into this. What were you looking to obtain? You know what I mean? Like, that's where my head goes instantly. Is like, cool. I love when I see that people love retro. And for those of us that do still have those old classic games, it's a cool way to get back into it. Because I look at the N64 one, and they just released that one, if I'm not mistaken. And it's like, that is fantastic. That is cool. But my man, what did it take resource-wise for you to make this and for you to actually put it out there on the market?
Yeah.
I mean, for SNK, which is Neo Geo anyway, I don't think they really get hit hard because of the fact that everything that they need would still be on the cheaper end for this machine. Nothing really. It was just designed to be a boutique item for people that are just enthusiasts. I don't think this is one of those things that's really going to hit them in a bad way. They'll make a little bit extra off of it because they're not using as expensive parts. But more likely it's not something that they were sitting there worried about doing a lot of. They just figured, we know that there are some people that want to have the direct feel of the games on the original hardware, so we're going to give them that.
Which I'm one of those. Like, I have a PS3 and a Wii U, and I know there's plenty of places you can emulate those games, but I rather play with original hardware. Neo Geo, I think, are they only releasing these 10 or 12 games, or are they expecting to have more?
From what I read, it's just these for now. And when I say for now, I think that's if it blows up, they'll probably do more.
Because that Neo Geo catalog is ridiculous. Like, it's long. So, and because I have, all of the games, so where I'm like, okay, the way I look at it, yeah, the original feel. Could you get that same original feel if you, let's say, have a Switch, Xbox, or PlayStation, and then get you a fight stick and play it that way?
Depends on
most
which
of these,
game.
Yeah, because I'm about to say most of these games are in some form of a collection already.
Yeah, it's really going to come down to certain games. Some of them will feel way better on the Neo Geo hardware.
Okay,
like the fighting games, King of Fighters and stuff like that. They're not going to feel too much different. Right. But like some of their beat 'em ups and some of the like space shooters and like their sports games, those are going to feel very different on that controller.
Gotcha. Okay.
So we shall see. Hopefully it does well, because ever since like Nintendo did that first mini NES and SNES, people been seeing more and more of this happening. I was hoping Sega would do one with Dreamcast, but
I would like them to go back and do one for the Saturn, for the Dreamcast. I'd like them to do one for Game Gear, do Master System. They really only did Genesis.
Yeah, they only did Genesis. Yeah.
And one of the ones that they did for Genesis was horrible.
It was bad, because honestly, it wasn't that many games, and it was like that super tiny one. I don't even think it worked properly.
And like, my problem wasn't even that. My main problem was that all of the sound effects were just not right.
Yeah, it didn't work properly at all.
You would have been better off doing an emulation box than what you did here, because the sound effects were off, colors were off. I'm like,
so
this thing is horrible.
From Sega, is that their only, or is that their most successful console?
That is their most successful console.
Okay, that would make sense then.
Well, because overall, then Master System would be their second most successful.
Okay, yeah, because when I look at Saturn, every time I saw Saturn, I was like, oh, I want that, because I just loved how it looked. Like, I've never been like a big Sega guy, because even growing up, we had both Sega and Super Nintendo. But I was like, I just kind of prefer the Super Nintendo more. But even with Sega Saturn, I was like, I'll at least want to try it out, just to kind of see and what the big hype was for a lot of those games.
You wouldn't have got most of that hype in the US market. You would have to deal with all the Japanese exclusive things that didn't get brought over. If you played any of the Japanese games like I did growing up, like having Real Bout Fatal Fury, having King of Fighters, having the better version of Thunder Force 5, having a better version of Street Fighter Alpha 3 until later versions came out. A lot of the stuff that was on Sega Saturn that was really good was once the Japanese developers actually learned how to fully utilize the machine.
And
a lot of the Western developers, a lot of the Western developers didn't really fully utilize it. Some of them did, but like Doom on the Sega Saturn is the worst version of Doom ever made. Bar none, it is the worst version of that game. And it didn't have to be.
Okay.
It did not have to be. And on top of that, with Sega being stupid during this time period, they had the 32X had the same chips in it, the exact same chips in it that the Sega Saturn needed. So any 32X that didn't get sold was a wasted Saturn. Wow. And then when you cobble that, that's why I got that video. I've done the recording. I just got to put the full video footage together, but it's horrible once you go over it. You know what? Yeah, I forgot about that version, Dark Void. So yeah, that's the worst version. I completely forgot about the 3D. I ain't gonna lie. I completely forgot about the 3DO one.
Wouldn't anything 3DO be bad?
No. 3DO actually had some good games. Hell, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo on 3DO was actually pretty good. There was some.
I didn't have a 3DO, so I don't know.
There were some good games on the 3DO. The problem with the 3DO was that it had too many different versions, so not every game worked the same on every version of it. So that was the problem.
Boy, consoles.
I don't know who authorized that.
It must have been cheap to make consoles back then, because everybody was trying to make a console. I'm like, where the
3DO
it wasn't.
3DO was expensive. 3DO was $600 when it launched.
No, I'm saying I know the games were. I mean, I'm saying the system I know in itself was expensive, but it's like everybody got a loan or whatever or backing to make a console, because everybody was dropping a console around it.
Well, the dude that did 3DO worked at EA before he went on to make 3DO. I think he was he was a pretty big level executive at 3DO as far as I remember.
Gotcha.
And that's why he was able to get that
at EA
done. Yeah, he was able to get that done. But yeah, most of them. But the problem with most of those was they didn't have like they didn't have the games, and then on top of that, like with Neo Geo, it was just way too expensive, man.
Yeah,
just way too expensive.
I think Neo Geo would have been far more liked if they would have waited to make a home version of it, so it would have been cheaper to produce. 3DO could have been better if they had not rushed. That was a platform I think was rushed because they were trying to get in before Saturn and PlayStation got out. They were trying to be ahead of the curve for that generation,
and that was the wrong attitude to take.
Between them and Jaguar was way worse at that. How far is it sold? But it's Trip Hawkins. I was trying to remember his name, but it's just like 3DO could have been better, but the price put off too many people. That was basically renting a car, or not renting, buying a used car at that time.
Yeah,
nobody's going to do that for a home console.
No,
and that's the thing. The only time I ever saw it was when I would go into Blockbuster for rentals, and I never saw it outside of that. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe because whenever I saw it, I was like, it's like a big VCR. It's like, no, that's the Panasonic 3DO. I'm like, well, who the hell is that? Like, I don't.
Yeah, because I think there were two versions of the Panasonic. Then there was the Gold Star one.
Oh wow,
that had the disc housing in the tray that came out, and that thing constantly failed. I was like, I don't know who thought this was a good idea. Most of the games that were good on 3DO were either highly unique to the 3DO, or were already on like an older disc-based system like the Sega CD before it got to 3DO.
Right.
Because after that, it was horrible. After that, it was horrible.
Kudos for those of you that own Neo Geo, 3DOs, the Pippin.
Like all I had was a Super NES and because I didn't have a Genesis like my neighbor did. So that's pretty much how we did it back then. Like your neighbor had one, you had the other one. So I was just playing over each other's house.
That's how we started off. But we like my grandfather, he worked at a chicken plant, and one of his coworkers was giving away his Genesis and his 32X and a Sega CD. So he comes home with like this big box. I'm like,
what the whole tower of power.
And I'm sitting there like, how do I put this together? He's like, oh, well, he told me to put the Genesis on the CD and then you put the 32X inside the Genesis. I'm like, where am I gonna put the damn game? Like, I was confused as a kid because I had never seen this. I was like, we just in here building Lego blocks with Segas. And then he's like, well, here's a couple of games, for the Sega CD, and I already had Sonic and Knuckles, because you got to put Sonic inside of the Knuckles. I was like, what is Sega doing? Like, we just stacking at this point. Like,
well,
it's crazy.
Sega's issue was, I want to say it was Nakamura. I might be wrong on that. I'm not looking at my notes, but him getting worried about the Jaguar because it was the 64-bit console. I was like, that thing did not do numbers at all. I think it capped out at what, like 50,000 units worldwide.
Goodness.
I was like, it was
Jaguar. Like, you jumped for the Jaguar. You jumped for Atari, which was already failing. I was like, I don't know what made you think that you needed another piece of equipment for a company that was already failing in the industry and everyone knew it was failing.
Right.
I was like, yeah, you jumped the gun and basically fought yourself for parts. I was like, if they would have never made the 32X and all those projects that were started for the 32X would have been moved over to the Saturn, that console had a much better launch.
Yeah, more than like them.
True.
Dark Void from the 1,000 documentaries I've watched. Yeah, it was Japan versus America.
It's not what the case is. I can tell you that.
Really? Wow.
The case was, now America did fight Japan on making a full console. That's why we got the 32X. But it wasn't Japan against America. It was more or less America trying to finagle what Japan's fears were, and it didn't work out well. That's why a lot of their executives ended up leaving, and that's one of the things when I was like, while I was doing all the research for this, I was like, so much of this stuff that I thought was true turned out to be not the same thing because people looked at one thing and thought, oh, this means that they were fighting. No, they weren't fighting each other. They were just trying to rapidly throw out stuff to stop, to have answers to everything that was happening. Yeah. And it didn't help them. They were too reactionary.
Which, when you really stop and think about it, and I know we kind of drifted from Neo Geo, but like when you really stop and think about it, there was no reason for them to be reactionary. Because when you talk about the Sega Genesis, they were essentially on top. Like they were competing with the Super Nintendo in a way.
Definitely competing.
And they had the commercial space. They had the commercial space. Like everybody was talking about Sega around me. And so that's why I was like, okay, cool. They got the space. But then when PlayStation reared its ugly head, then I was like, okay, well, where do they go from here? And I think that would have been the ideal time to react. But it's almost like they just kept trying to compete with
their reaction for PlayStation was to release the Saturn early instead of the day it was supposed to be released. So that was what caused that problem.
But I'm curious as into like, would that have been better too if they didn't do the 32X?
Yeah, if the perfect scenario for the Sega Saturn, there'd be no 32X. Sega wouldn't have jumped the gun to try to release at the very first E3 for some reason. Like you had a dedicated day set aside for all of your retail partners, which was supposed to be September 2nd, 1995. That was going to be Saturn Day. You had a whole day named after the console that could have gone down in history as one of the greatest game console launches ever. And you gave that up because Sony had decided that they were going to put a console out.
Basically.
Which to me, I'm not budging because it's like you never made a console before. So what am I jumping the gun for?
That's why I said they were too reactionary. Like I have all of the stuff recorded, and once the video is out, once you see how the steps fell into place, you actually see like, yeah, I see why they failed.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, it's horrible.
I wish they were still here though. I mean, granted, they're still here in software, but hardware, I wish we still had Sega because this could have been like a 4-way situation.
It could have definitely.
Yeah, but the way
Microsoft was still coming either way. Microsoft,
they were gonna show up anyway.
Because that's what Bill wanted.
Yeah, they wanted to be in. They wanted their stuff on the TV, so there was no avoiding that.
Yeah, but I do think we'd all be a little better off for it. But because when Sega was there, Sony wasn't acting up. Sony started acting up when Microsoft got in because I guess they felt like they could go money for money with them. I'm like, y'all ain't got money like that.
That was a horrible idea.
Truth be told, I feel like we would probably still be in the same space. I just think we would see more of Nintendo versus Sega, Microsoft versus Sony.
Yeah,
I think that's where they would have went.
That's probably what it would be. But I think we'd still have the mid level company. We wouldn't. They wouldn't have went away.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It had Sega still been there.
They would have had more platforms to be on.
Yeah. You know, they wouldn't have been away. So, which brings me to my last topic tonight. Apparently, Xbox wants to go back to exclusivity. Now, this is here's my, because once again, I said they were going to do this. They're going to tell people everything they want to hear. But the problem is, are they going to be able to back it up? Because here's the thing. I have no problem with them having exclusivity. Exclusivity means this is why I have your console.
Yeah.
The problem is, they spend too much money on games, and they don't understand that, like, bruh, if every game don't have to cost $100 million to make. As a matter of fact, it shouldn't. No. So, because gaming is still an evergreen play. You make most of your money over time. This ain't the movies. You don't make all your money in 2 weekends.
Right.
You make your money over years. So, unless you understand that, saying you bring back exclusivity is fine and all, but if every exclusive game you make costs $250 million to make, what you doing?
Well, even that aside, wouldn't you essentially be killing your Play Anywhere campaign?
Well, they want to kill it. From what I understand.
Yeah,
I understand they want to kill it. So,
because now, well, okay. you're early on to where you can kill it, because I mean they've been pushing it as of late of like, hey, this is a play anywhere game.
I think they're just trying to get that out so they figure out what their new plan, what their new strategy is. Because right now they've already came out in interviews and said that we want to move away from that. Yeah. That's why a lot of people it's making it look like this was all Phil's idea, when I don't think it was Phil's idea. I think that came from above him, and they're just trying to use him to scapegoat him. It's like, yeah, see, we wanted to do this, but
Phil wouldn't let us. I'm like, wait a minute.
Like, that's just like what they did with Sarah Bond. She became a scapegoat. Both of them scapegoats.
Both of them scapegoats. So, but I don't blame both of them for leaving either, because I'm like, nah, because I already know what you're about to do.
I think honestly, if Phil could have had his way, Xbox wouldn't have lost exclusives. Now, whatever they picked up as third-party stuff probably would have still been third-party, but they would have kept their own exclusives to themselves. Big thing was that Nadella don't like exclusives, even though he lied.
Nadella don't like gaming. Nadella, I don't think Nadella like nobody, man. I think all that dude like is money. And how much can he get? So I'm like,
that's about it.
I'm just sitting here looking. I'm like, okay, you brought in the AI lady because you know she's gonna do what you say.
Yep, she's a yes man.
So I'm like, like right now, they're saying everything people want to hear, and I'm like, hey, kudos for that. But the problem is, I'm gonna wait to see what your actions are like, because one, exclusives. We'll just look at Sega and Nintendo and even Sony when they had them back in PS1 and PS2 era. PS1, PS2 era, like, dude, you have a good number of exclusives. You don't have to worry about stuff.
Nope.
You can rest easy for sure.
Yeah, you can be a little bit more. You can take a little bit more risk with some stuff because Triple M. Because now, like we've heard for the last since the 7th gen, exclusives don't matter.
Yeah,
they do.
Hold on, exclusives don't matter until Nintendo makes a boatload of money with them.
Yeah, and another thing too is like Microsoft's problem is they got suits telling them what to do.
Yeah.
So anytime a suit sees, hey, why did Animal Crossing sell like get sold? I thought y'all said that game was weak. Anytime they see Fortnite, why did Fortnite sell? That's a free-to-play game. We should be able to do that.
That's not understanding the market.
Yeah.
No.
So, there's going to be lightning in a bottle stuff that happens. I mean, hell, Wii Sports was lightning in a bottle.
For sure.
Yep.
But Nintendo Land didn't pick up like that.
No.
So, there's always going to be.
But it should have.
It should have. But that's what I'm saying. Like, lightning in a bottle stuff, this is going to happen. You don't know what somebody might find fun.
Yeah, that's the key thing.
Like, and Fortnite did blow up, but everybody can't do that.
Nope.
So you try to throw that in Halo, and now guess what? Now you made Halo bad.
I mean, but hell, even if you look at Epic now, they're telling you they spent too much.
Yeah.
So even with it making what it's making,
because when you get Chapel Rowan, when you do collabs with One Piece and Dragon Ball, you got to pay them.
You got to pay.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's why everybody was mad that why didn't Nintendo let Metroid be in Fortnite?
They already look. Samus's reputation is already where it is.
Right.
But the thing is, I'm like, she's not going to be allowed on other platforms. Y'all thinking that, see, what they wanted was, they were like, oh, if Samus and Link is in Fortnite, now we can get it on PlayStation, and Nintendo wasn't going to never let that happen.
No.
They weren't going to let that happen.
I mean, we saw Rocket League.
Yeah. Link ain't going to be on the Soul Calibur 2 versions of the Xbox and PlayStation. He's just not going to be there.
No.
He just ain't.
So, all right. So let's say, just for shits and giggles, like Xbox is doing a complete 100% reset, blaming everything on Sarah and Phil because they're not there anymore. And we're now going to push forward. Okay, exclusives is one thing. What are you doing next? Because you got to change your whole persona. Like, you got to get in good favor with people. How are you doing that?
Because the other thing too is y'all bought all these doggone companies to let them have their grand vision when nobody know who the hell they are. I'm like, they should have been working on other things. Like I gave my example a few weeks ago, but I'm like, y'all have all of Rare Replay. what y'all should have did. Some of them companies, this should have been working on Jet Force Gemini. Someone should have been working on Cameo. Somebody should have been working on. Let them see what they can do, because once again, those games don't have to be big.
No.
So you can have a 3-year development cycle. Because you don't need an open world Jet Force Gemini. I'm sorry, you don't need that. So have them work on that, and then when people get to know them and see what they can do, then you can let them work on their pseudo grand vision, whatever it is they want to work on. But what you don't do is have a company that you let them make a trailer for something, and then when you go to interview them for your live content, they tell you they don't know what it is.
Yeah, that right there was disgusting. Like, you don't, and I agree with you. Work your way up to that big exclusive, like, you know what I'm saying, like that, or that big new IP. Like, give me the smaller ones. I'm treating you like an indie right now. I just purchased you, and yeah, you may have a resume long as day. But guess what? You in a new space. You got to earn your keep over here. So make me something that doesn't cost me a lot, and that's a banger. And then we can talk about you, making some bigger ones.
Yeah, work on this.
Yep.
Work on this. Let me see what you do with this.
Yep.
Well, I don't like that.
Oh well. Be all right.
I don't believe I asked you. I don't believe I asked you. I don't believe I asked you. I said work on this.
Yeah, that is Microsoft's big problem, though, is that they don't have any small games.
Yeah,
no, everything has to be this large scale production, which is ridiculous.
But see, and that's the key thing where they could hit this reset right now, because no matter how much Sony has pulled out of Japan, they still sell pretty decent in Japan. Yeah. Xbox, those numbers are like, it's crazy when PS4 is almost trumping the newest Xbox, and PS4 has been out for years at this point. Like, it shouldn't even be on somebody's radar to purchase. Like, it shouldn't, but it is. And so now it's like, okay, when you're doing this reset, you have to come with just games. Like, I don't care what you say. I don't care what slogan you use. You have to just show up with games. I don't care if you have 50 studios. I don't care if you have 2 studios. Just show up with games and then let the rest speak for itself. Because now, if you're going exclusive, I'm like, what does this next console look like then?
Yeah.
Because if you're saying, okay, it's exclusive to this particular console, and this console also plays PC games, but these games are not on PC, that can be appealing. But at the same time, you better make sure those games are there. Like,
and they better do what they say.
Yeah, and they better do what they say, because it's been way too long that they constantly just lead with numbers. They lead with the spec sheet, and then they don't perform.
What they really need right now is to look at some of the smaller indie teams and do what they're doing with smaller teams.
Yep.
Just take $1 million per project for like 10 or 15, maybe even 20 different games, and just release small games for a solid year to a year and a half. Just release a bunch of small ones, have a couple big ones. Obviously, have like 1 or 2 big ones for the year, but have a bunch of small games.
Like, we'll take He-Man and Master of the Universe. I know that just got pushed back, but something like that. That is not big. That's not going to be a big game. Do something like that. You have there's no Thundercats game. There's no Silver. And let's be real, Microsoft got enough money to be like, hey, let us work this one, and we'll divvy up the contract to get you to cut. So
if Microsoft was really sneaky, which they should have done this already, a goddamn Battletoads, Ninja Turtles, beat 'em up crossover. It's obvious. It would make a lot of money.
But we know what happened with the last Battletoads.
That's why they don't make it. They give it to .mu.
Give it .mu, yeah. Yeah, give it .mu.
Because you want it to feel authentic to the original. Because not a lot of people liked their rebrand.
No,
because
that was
just basically crapped on the franchise. Yeah. So you want people to forget that one exists.
Yeah. Either .mu or LizardCube.
Yeah.
Get .mu or LizardCube.
Probably get both of them on it. Yeah. Just have them joint venture together on it.
.mu or LizardCube, because
do that. Get the license for Ninja Turtles for a game for them specifically.
Yeah.
For them to do the crossover.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure Nickelodeon be like, yeah, we'll let y'all get it for one game. Y'all give us like 40%.
Yeah,
or something like that. They'll probably do that. Yeah, because I'm sitting here, I'm like, yeah, like that's what y'all should have been doing. I don't, because once again, anytime I saw one of those old Xbox developer directs, and all they kept talking about, yes, this is my grand vision to do something. Like, bro, nobody knows you. Nobody knows who
nobody
you
knows
are.
you yet. You have
you're
to.
talking
You
about
have to
grand
build up
visions.
an audience.
Yeah, you don't have an audience, bro. So, what are you doing? What are we talking about here?
And going back to Conquer, Triple M. Conquer's Bad Fur Day 2. I've said it before. You already have the premise. Conquer screwed up saving his girlfriend in the last game.
Yeah.
All you have to do is start from there, where he's sitting on the throne drinking a glass of milk mad. Start from there.
Yep.
You could really God of War this with Conquer, and it's not even funny. You could have Conquer go through a portal to go into the past to stop himself from forgetting her and make it a whole thing for that. That could be Conquer's Bad Fur Day 2. Or if you want to take it a step further, make it like Groundhog Day, where he keeps going back to try to do it, but he keeps messing up and missing the opportunity. So he has to start the process over again. Like, there are so many ways that you could do this, and they're not doing it.
And I don't even know why.
Perfect Dark. James Bond with a woman. Make it campy.
Dude, just play the first game. Play the first game. That's all. You just play the first game.
Play the first game. Bring Elvis back, because everybody loves Elvis's big head. Bring him back.
And the Elvis and the American vest. So just bring him back.
Just bring him back.
Yeah,
it's not hard to figure out what people want from these characters. And Project Spark was a really good idea. Microsoft did not know how to use it, because when they did that Conquer thing, and it offended more people than it drew to it.
Yeah.
The reason nobody got it was because you didn't utilize it properly. Project Spark as a game engine was a good concept. What they should have done is what they do with Minecraft. And I've said this for multiple different game engines for consoles. If you have an engine that allows you to make a game from scratch within that engine, allow people to sell those games. Mm-hmm. They're already paying the license for the engine. Let them sell the games. You'd have a ton of games, a slew of games. Yeah, you're going to have a bunch of crap games in it. Obviously, that's going to happen. But there will be some standouts that you could use, or that you could even work with the people that built those games within your system, and you could actually make something from it. But they're not thinking. I'm tired of laying it out for them because they ain't listening.
I mean, it's not. Dude, I said it months ago. Like, it's not rocket science. When I heard Perfect Dark got canceled, I'm like, it should not have been. It shouldn't have taken you this long to even think about making that game. It shouldn't have. I'm like, it shouldn't have. The mere fact that it took them what it was, because they first announced it 2018 when they gave us that little Egypt slideshow and the storm and all that, and I'm like,
they didn't show any of that.
Yeah, and then the director left, the lead writer left, and the lead artist left. Then they went and got Eidos, Crystal Dynamics to come in and try to help. I'm like, bro,
they should have.
What is this? It shouldn't be like this.
Like, when they lost so many high level people for the project, they should have scrapped it and started over.
Yeah,
they should have started over. If you really wanted a Perfect Dark game, you should have started over from the ground up and look at what people loved about Perfect Dark and just enhance that. It's not a hard thing to do.
Yeah,
you just work with what made people happy with it, what people liked with it. Hell, if Microsoft really want to make some money, and this is going to have to take some work, going to have to collaborate with Nintendo, get another Diddy Kong Racing to happen. Y'all have half the characters from the game. They have the other half. Work with them. Get a version on each side. You have Diddy Kong's racing side and Conker's whatever on that side. Have it be a crossover game where you could play online, crossed over with each other. Like there are so many opportunities to make something of this, where you could do the console wars, but actually have people playing games against each other. It's just like they're not taking the concepts and using them the way that they could be best used. They're using them in the worst way possible, which is why they have so many teams that have fallen apart within the last 3 to 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Like you had a bunch of teams that have never worked together building these massive games. I don't care how much collective experience there is between a group of people. If those people have never worked together, you're going to have issues with a large scale project. You need something small to start off with. You need campy stuff. You need funny stuff. You need action oriented stuff. You can still have your big games, but you need a series of smaller things to come out. People might talk all that crap about Nintendo, but Nintendo's games in general still sell well, even for their smaller games. For as much as people might want to criticize them, all that, their small stuff still makes them money. It's a constant flow. That's why their stuff is considered evergreen. Even if they don't sell massive numbers, their stuff is still evergreen.
Yep.
People just ain't. It's not hard.
And the crazy part about all of this, like with all the purchases that Microsoft did for all of these studios, and then even when we talk about prior to this big purchase, they legitimately have a shot at having a top 5 game in every genre. Like Nintendo doesn't have like a MMO type game per se. I mean, you can kind of call there's certain games that could be, but they don't have an MMO type game. They don't have a first person shooter and like a multiplayer first person shooter like Call of Duty. They don't have a racer. Like, granted, you can count Mario Kart, but they don't have like a racer like Forza.
Yeah, they don't have a true
racer.
They don't have a sim racer. No,
they don't have a true simulation. Yeah.
So like they have like the ability because now they own so many games. And then even if you want to get into the platform bag, most will tell you from a mechanic standpoint, nothing's beating Mario. Like Nintendo's found a way to craft that and master it. But
just don't release it next to Mario.
Just don't release it next to Mario. But when
you know Mario's coming out in November, release your game either
in June,
the following February, or June before then.
Yeah,
you don't want it in the same time frame.
You don't want that smoke.
Because let's be honest, if we talk about platform, we just need to be in the top 5, right? You have Conquer. You have what they don't necessarily have Spyro because they gave it to Toys for Bob, but they can still do that partnership. You have Spyro, you have Crash that you can tap into. So there's 3 classics right there.
Oh, they got Banjo.
You got Banjo.
Yeah, they got Banjo.
You can work off of. So they have the ability to just come out and just say, you know what? Here is this banger, this banger, this banger, and understand that we captured everything as far as genre is concerned, from the Diablos to the Call of Duties, the Halos, the Forzas, Conquer, Spyro, Crash, whomever. Like, and then if they wanted to get back in their sports bag, they could, because Inside Drive was a great game. It's just it didn't last long after everybody decided to just go with EA for everything. So they really could. They really, really, really could. And like you said, Perfect Dark Zero, they could get back into that bag. I don't know what you do with all those assets and all that work. I would imagine you don't just throw it out the window. That has to be used for something else. When you have things like Cameo that's sitting around, you can go tap into Cameo. We talked about it all the time, and it's sitting on Game Pass right now. Jade Empire. Redo something with Jade Empire. Like, you could do so much with these different games in these franchises, and you got enough people that have worked long enough to make this work. So it's not like they would have to go and find a random team to do it for them. Y'all bought what seems like half the damn game.
They have the game, they have the IP, and they have the staff. They don't know how to use them.
But maybe they can go the route of kind of what Game Freak is doing with that Beast Reincarnation game they're doing. Like, they're kind of the heads, but they got another studio that's doing everything else.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey,
my thing is Microsoft, well, not Microsoft, Xbox needs a creative director for the whole thing. They need someone who can look at a project and be like, hey, this ain't working out. Let's nix this, move on to something else.
Yeah.
like what Miyamoto was doing for Nintendo. He doesn't do that anymore. There's other people that do that, but they need somebody who's going to be able to go in, look at what they have what they're working on, and be like, yo, okay, this is working. Let's tighten up here, here, and here. And look at something like, hey, this is not working, and you are spending too much time on this. Let's cut it. Let's get y'all moved on to something else. Because if we sit here and waste a bunch of time on something that you are not moving forward with, it's going to cost us more money.
And it's clearly not working. Because that's the thing. Like, if it's taking you that long, that means something ain't working.
Nope. It ain't working.
Either your design ain't working, your engine ain't working, or something. So if it's taking that long, something
they would not want me in their offices because I'd be cussing everybody out. I'd be cussing everybody out. And I would specifically be looking for the people that did the Battletoads game because I have words for them. I got words for them.
I think like with Battletoads, it's just like with everything else that you have people who they get jobs and don't like the project they're working on, and so they just I'm just gonna say, excuse my Wakandan, they half-ass it.
my thing is
they just half-ass it. So I'm like, they don't care. So because they want to get their thing out, and they're being forced to write for this. So I don't like this.
Still horrible.
Yeah, I don't like this. But since they're gonna make me do it, I'll just do whatever. I'll just half-ass it and do whatever, and then it don't work good. Because I'm like, the perfect example of that, one of the guys that wrote that horrible Dragon Ball Evolution. And then he tried to get another job with I think he was trying to get on, he was either Black Panther or Winter Soldier,
and they turned him
Marvel didn't hire him. And I'm like, yeah, because you didn't care.
That's the thing,
you gotta care.
Even if you don't like the project you're on, it still represents you. So you still have to put your best foot forward. Dropping the context of the story to turn it into this weird Looney Tunes variety hour, which Battletoads was never that.
They were never that.
It was, Battletoads was goofy, but it was also hyper violent. It was also it was the edgy game. It was made to be edgy. So it's like you took that away to throw in a bunch of jokes. You belittled the characters. And you had the perfect example of what a Battletoads character should look like in Killer Instinct. I mean, tell me y'all couldn't think to rip that, to just model your characters and the story and play style after that? You couldn't have? It like you have the whole collection of the games available to you to play and get a feel for it, to get an idea of how the story works, but you still did not do anything similar to that. You just turned all of those games into a joke to make the joke that you were trying to tell, which is about as funny as an Andrew Schultz joke, and screwed it up.
Yeah, because it just wasn't.
It didn't hit right. The only thing that was good about that Battletoads game, again, was the combo system. The combo system
that was about it. Yeah, that was about it.
But the difficulty scaling was horrible. You put it on the hardest difficulty, and everybody becomes a damage sponge.
Yeah, I was like, but you can't do that. You can't.
The game wasn't. The game lost. I think I got like halfway through that game, and about a third of the way, I was losing interest. And when I got to the halfway point,
I couldn't take it anymore.
Where they had the Dark Queen become an ally, and I was like, the way y'all did this, I can't play this.
Yeah.
So I was like, I dropped it. I was like, okay, I'm gonna drop this.
Yeah, I remember because you made it farther than I did. Because I remember telling you, I'm like, man, I can't take this no more.
I think the only level that I really enjoyed, ironically, was the first bike.
Yeah, the first bike level was actually fun
because that actually felt like Battletoads.
Yeah,
but I didn't make it to the secondary one that's supposedly in the game. I didn't. Yeah. Once I got to a point where the Dark Queen was joining up with them and they had that weird banter back and forth, I was like, yeah,
I feel special then because I made it to the second one. All right,
you did better than this. And the bad thing is, it's because of how deeply involved I was into the series when I played it. I've played every game in the series before this. So for me, having played every other game in the series and looking at that, and I'm like, yeah, no, y'all didn't do this right.
Yeah. And yeah, because I remember I was playing, I was like, man, the jokes ain't funny. The combos, the art style is whack. I'm like, the fight system is fine. But then I was just like, dude, I'm tired of these lame jokes. Like, who wrote this? So
I get what they were trying to do, because you have Rash is the stupid one, which he's not really stupid. You had Zitz is the leader, he is the leader of the group, and he is strong-willed, but he was never the leader to the point where he didn't pay attention to what his team said.
Yeah.
The only one I think they did even decently with was Pimple.
Yeah.
And that was just barely. And that's because Pimple actually had common sense compared to his brothers. So I'm like, you really screwed this up. I could have done a better story than that. Like, there's no way in the world you could have. I get the idea of taking the Dark Queen out of being the enemy for this game. That's not a bad concept. Having her team up with the Battletoads, also not a bad concept.
It's the execution, though.
The execution was horrible. I could see having someone usurp her throne and take over her army. That's a cool concept. And then she has to turn to her mortal enemies for help. The same ones she's been trying to kill for 30 plus years.
Yes.
She has to turn to them for help.
But they didn't do that.
And then on top of that, we got the princess. Is she a princess? The Battletoads, the girl that was always with him. I can't remember if she's a princess or not. Or she's the doctor's assistant. She could have been a playable character. Like, there's so many threads to that story that just got messed up. And I'm sitting here like, y'all could have done so much with this. But because you didn't care enough, you just threw a bunch of things together and hoped everybody would like it. I was like, I don't know what made you think Saturday morning cartoon even made sense for this.
Not for that. Not for that.
It just wasn't a good idea. It wasn't.
Yeah, that was just I will never understand that, and that was just one of the games I was happy when they did the first trailer. I was looking forward to. I'm like, I didn't like the art style, but I'm like, I could deal with that.
Yeah, I could get over the art style. I was willing to give it a shot.
Yeah, but after that, I'm like, I can't believe I spent money on this. And
that's why I came out good. I was still using Game Pass at the time. It popped up with Game Pass. I was like, okay,
I had bought it. I had bought it. I was so happy I had bought it. I'm like, this is why we need demos. So
I would have bought it if that game would have been good. I would have bought it, but it wasn't good. So
it was not. So, all right, peeps, we're gonna call it a night. Thank you everybody for coming out and showing out. We really do appreciate it. Let's see. Do I have? Oh yeah, I did do a live stream yesterday. I posted for Mouse PI and the first part of Pragmata. So check those out when you get a chance. I do apologize. StreamYard does cut the sound in and out. So going forward, I'm just gonna do like the first 30 minutes or hour of a new game, and then I'll just post that to YouTube, and the live will be after that. That way it won't, that way the sound and everything will be proper and correct. So I do apologize for that. But yeah, those are on the that live stream is on the channel. So check that out when you have a chance. Jack, anything you want to pimp out?
Yeah, so I'm going to actually record my video doing a review for the Hyperion 3s that came out recently. So I don't know if everybody kind of got theirs shipped out at the same time. For the people that I knew that had pre-ordered theirs, they got them in at their mail at the same time. For me, I had actually thought I canceled my order. So my surprise when I came home from work, the box was just sitting up front. I was like, okay, well, I guess not. So, but yeah, I'll definitely be doing a video, just kind of doing a comparison, giving like my pros and cons for these. Just kind of like as a spoiler, one of the cons is the price. I got it for a little bit cheaper than what they have listed because I used an affiliate code or link from one of the content creators that I follow. But yeah, I'll definitely be doing one for that. and then also be doing a similar, I wouldn't say a review, but kind of like a preview of the ROG Nuke as well. You know, since I've had it for probably like 3 weeks now, 3 or 4 weeks now, and I think it's a pretty cool device for how small it is and what it's been capable of doing, and been trying to take it through the paces by playing with like on the couch with controller, the setup, as well as playing it remote through my Quest 3. So just kind of giving my feel on those 2 items. But yeah, that should be about it for the most part. I felt like there was another item I was waiting on. Oh yeah, so there was another item I was looking forward to that we got some more news on that I wanted to do a video on, and that was the new Steam controller. They have the summer 2026 date on it, and I understand the Steam frame as well as the Steam machine as into why they haven't popped up because of the RAM shortage and then the price hike on that, but they ain't got nothing to do with the controller. So I'm trying to figure out like why you don't release the controller, and then of course know that that's going to be partnered with the device in itself, because I really would love that controller before I go and buy like a one-hand keyboard and a mouse to try to play on my couch with certain games. But yep, that's what I have coming up. So I should have those all recorded by this upcoming week and have it posted in the middle of the week somewhere.
All right, Andre.
I mean, I'm in the middle of the editing process for the my first hour and a half video for the Nintendo 64 what if thing I'm doing. It's a long struggle because I've recorded so many pieces. So I've been on these videos. I think I've fully recorded these videos, well, the audio for it, like 2 months ago, just to be slowly trying to put everything together. So I apologize for how slow they're going, but they're going to be there. Editing is taking a minute.
Hey, okay. So don't forget to check those out when you have a chance. Yeah, other than that, we'll see you guys next Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be easy, people.
Peace.